Here's why Adam and Eve's forbidden fruit was probably not an apple. One of the most iconic images in Western culture is that Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, or as it's called in Hebrew, Gan Eden, reaching for the forbidden apple. But here's the catch. The fruit was most likely not an apple at all. Yes, you heard that right. For centuries, we all seen images of the forbidden fruit painted as an apple. But what if I told you that this is a result of a Latin wordplay? In the 4th century, Saint Jeremy translated the Bible into Latin. Here's where things get interesting. The wordplay between the Latin words malum, evil, and malus, apple, contributed to the symbolic connection. The Greek word malon means apple as well. This linguistic coincidence likely led to the apple becoming the symbol of the forbidden fruit. The Bible doesn't even mention an apple, not even once. In fact, the Bible mentions another fruit present in the story, figs. In Genesis 3:6-7 it says, "When the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some and ate it. She also gave some to her husband who was with her and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were opened and they realized that they were naked. So they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves loincloths." Adam and Eve covered themselves with fig leaves after realizing their nakedness. The fig tree is mentioned in connection with their shame, which leads us to the reasonable idea that the fruit of the tree probably was a fig. In fact, apples did not grow in the region of Mesopotamia nor Israel. The Jewish people who wrote down the Bible would most likely not have written down a fruit nobody in the region has seen before. It just doesn't make any sense that God would use a foreign fruit of the land of Israel to have such an important role in the story of the sin of man. Figs, on the other hand, have significant symbolic meaning in the Bible. In ancient Israel, figs were often associated with prosperity, peace, and righteousness. In Jeremiah 24:1-10, for example, figs are used as a symbol for the good and bad outcomes of exile. The idea of the tree bearing forbidden fruit could potentially fit within this symbolism if you want to explore a deeper connection between the fruit and the tree itself. The Kehot Chumash Chabad House publications commentary on Genesis 2:9 specifically states, "The tree of life, whose fruit imparted immortality to whoever eats it, was in the center of the garden, as was the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which was a fig tree." And from Genesis 3:7, they sewed together leaves that they plucked from a fig tree, since the tree of knowledge was this type of tree, and made themselves loincloths. In Bereshit Rabbah 15, fig is also mentioned 2 times as the fruit of the forbidden tree. Let's be honest, why mention fig leaves if the fruit wasn't a fig? It would make sense for the tree that brought their downfall to also be the one that provided the means for their covering. However, some argue it is wheat or a citron. No further context. The only other possible option, in my opinion, contextual evidence is grapes. As Rabbi Yehuda Barilai said, the forbidden fruit that Adam and Eve ate were grapes. As it is hinted in Deuteronomy 32:42, their grapes are grapes of poison, clusters of bitterness for them. So, in conclusion, while apple has been the most closely associated fruit with the story of Adam and Eve for the last centuries, there's strong evidence to suggest it wasn't an apple at all. The fig tree fits perfectly with the biblical text and the symbolic meanings present in ancient Israelite culture. We may never know 100% what fruit it was, but what's clear is that the story of Adam and Eve transcends the specifics of the fruit itself. It's about the choices we make and the consequences that follow from sin. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment to share your thoughts on the forbidden fruit. Was it a fig, an apple, despite all, or something else? Let me know what you think. Stay blessed.